Namo Lakshvarya. While seeing that all phenomena neither come nor go, you strive solely for the sake of all beings. Supreme Guru and Protector Shenrezig, at all times I respectfully pay homage to you with my body, speech, and mind. The perfect Buddha's source of all benefit and ultimate peace arise from having accomplished the true Dharma. Since that depends on knowing and doing the practices, here is the explanation of the practice of Bodhisattvas. 1. Having now gained this great ship, a precious human life, so difficult to obtain, in order to free yourself and others from samsara, the ocean of cyclic existence, to listen, reflect, and meditate day and night without distraction is the practice of a bodhisattva. 2. Clinging attachment to loved ones churns like water. Holding hatred for enemies rages like fire. In the darkness of ignorance, one forgets what practices to adopt and what to avoid. Abandon your attachment to your homeland. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 3. By abandoning disturbing emotions, mental disturbances will gradually decline. Without distractions, attention to virtue naturally grows. When the mind becomes clear, certainty in the Dharma arises. Practicing living alone in seclusion is the practice of a bodhisattva. 4. Family and longtime companions will part from each other. Possessions gained with effort will be left behind. Consciousness, a guest, will leave the guest house of the body. Giving up the concerns of this life, this is the practice of a bodhisattva. 5. Staying together with friends who misguide us, our hatred, desires, and ignorance grow. The activities of learning, reflecting, and meditating decline. Our love and compassion for sentient beings are lost and forgotten. Give up such companions. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 6. When one follows a true spiritual friend, faults will dissolve and good qualities will grow like the waxing moon. Consider this friend more precious than your own body. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 7. How can worldly leaders, if they themselves are imprisoned in samsara, protect? Therefore, seek refuge in the three jewels, the undeceiving source of refuge. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 8. The Buddha taught that all the unbearable suffering of the lower realms is caused by wrongdoing. Therefore, never act wrongfully, even at the cost of your own life. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 9. Like a dewdrop on a blade of grass, The pleasures we find in the course of our lives last only an instant. They cannot endure. Strive for the supreme state of never-changing liberation. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 10. When mothers who have loved you since the beginningless of time are suffering, what good is your own happiness? Therefore, give rise to bodhicitta in order to liberate infinite sentient beings. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 11. All suffering, without exception, comes from seeking your own self-happiness. The perfect Buddhas are born selfless from the altruistic mind, from the thought of benefiting others. Truly exchange your own happiness to the suffering of others. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 12. Even if someone driven by great desire steals all of your wealth, or lets others steal it, dedicate to them your body, possessions, and your past, present, and future merits. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 13. Even if someone cuts off your head when you haven't done anything wrong, take all of their negative deeds upon yourself through the power of compassion. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 14. Even if others slander you and proclaim these words throughout the universe, even if what has been said spreads to others and gains wide acceptance as being the truth, to help conquer their troubles and gain peace of mind, praise all their virtue and treat them with loving kindness. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 15. Even if someone exposes your hidden faults and insults you in front of others, view that person as a teacher and bow with respect. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 16. Even if someone you have cared for as dearly as your own child regards you as an enemy, love that person even more, as a mother would her ailing child. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 17. Even if someone of equal or lower status, driven by pride, treats you with disdain, respectfully place them on your crown as your teacher. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 18. Though you may be impoverished, always disparaged, gripped by disease, and tormented by spirits, never lose courage, but take on the misdeeds and the pain of all beings. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 19. Though you may be famous and revered by many, and are as rich as the wealth god himself, having seen that worldly fortune is without essence, do not be proud. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 20. If the enemy, your own anger, is not tamed, subduing outer enemies will only make them increase. Therefore, subdue your own mind with the army of love and compassion. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 21. Sensory pleasures are like salt water. The more you drink, the greater your thirst. Abandon at once all things that give rise to clinging attachment. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 22. The way things appear is the work of your own mind. The nature of the mind is primordially free from conceptual limitations. To recognize this nature and to not entertain concepts of subject and object is the practice of a bodhisattva. 23. When you come across things that attract you, like beautiful rainbows in summertime, do not regard them as real and abandon clinging attachment. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 24. All suffering is like the death of your child in a dream. How exhausting it is to hold illusionary appearances as real. Therefore, when you meet with difficult circumstances, understand them as illusionary. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 25. Even if those who wish for enlightenment must give away one's body, how much more would it be true of material things? Therefore, practice generosity without hope of reward or karmic results. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 26. If you lack moral discipline, you cannot accomplish even your own purpose. How can we fulfill the needs of others? Therefore, protect your discipline without concern for worldly existence. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 27. For bodhisattvas who desire a wealth of virtue, all harm is like a precious treasure. Therefore, without hostility, be patient with everyone without resentment. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 28. Even Sravakas and Pratyeka, Buddhas who, accomplishing liberation for their own purpose, strive as if putting out a fire on their head, seeing this, practice with diligence the source of good qualities for the sake of all beings. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 29. Disturbing emotions are destroyed by insight, grounded in sustained calm. Knowing this, cultivate meditative concentration that purely transcends the four formless states of absorptions. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 30. Without wisdom, perfection of charity, patience, and morals, absorption and effort alone won't suffice alone and are not enough to reach complete enlightenment. Thus, combined with skillful means, develop the wisdom to see that the actor, the act, and the acted upon, three concepts, lack inherent existence. This is the practice of a bodhisattva. 31. Unless you examine your own confused ideas, you may look like a practitioner, but not be acting like one. Therefore, to continuously examine my own faults and give them up is the practice of a bodhisattva. 32. If you are driven by disturbing emotions and talk about another bodhisattva's faults, it is actually to your own detriment. so don't mention the faults of those who have entered the great vehicle. This is the practice of a Bodhisattva. 33. Concern for gain and respect causes conflict and a decline in the activities of learning, reflecting, and meditating. So abandon clinging attachment to your circle of friends, relations, and benefactors. This is the practice of a Bodhisattva. 34. Harsh words disturb others' minds and thus diminish the practice of a Bodhisattva. Therefore, abandon harsh speech, which is unpleasant to others. This is the practice of a Bodhisattva. 35. When disturbing emotions become habitual, it is difficult to reverse them with antidotes. Thus, the soldier of mindfulness wields antidotes as weapons and destroys disturbing emotions such as attachment the moment they start to arise. This is the practice of a Bodhisattva. 36. In brief, wherever you are and whatever you are doing, always examine the state of your mind. Act to serve the purpose of others through constant mindfulness and awareness. This is the practice of a Bodhisattva. 37. With the wisdom of threefold purity, dedicate all the virtue gained from having made such effort toward enlightenment. Dedicate it to clear away the suffering of infinite beings. All merit is achieved by such endeavors. This is the practice of a Bodhisattva.